Caleb Swinky, Persuasive Speech on why to use ethanol. One, two, three, four. Ethanol is a renewable fuel source made from biomass, mostly corn. Upon doing my audience analysis on November 6, 2025, I learned that many of you live in farming communities, and at least 85% of you or more have seen E15 at the gas pump. I am proud to live in a farming community, and my family has farmed for generations and sells corn to the Kappa ethanol plant for ethanol production. I believe ethanol is better for your car, your family, your community, and you. Using ethanol supports local farmers whose taxes fund schools, roads, and community projects. Almost 60% of cars in our area are already using ethanol, and so should you. Firstly, let's address some common myths about ethanol. On November 11th of 2025, I found a report from the Nebraska Corn Board that addressed a few common myths that come with ethanol. The first of those is that ethanol harms engines. This was proven false because ethanol actually improves engine performance and longevity. Another myth was that it was hard on engines. This was proven false because it actually cleans the injectors in large engines, and in smaller engines you may require caution, but you should always follow the manufacturer's guidelines. The third myth was that it had poor gas mileage when compared to gasoline alone. But this was proven wrong because E10 and E15 have minimal miles per gallon difference when in comparison to gasoline. Now that we've addressed these myths, let's look at how ethanol benefits the environment. Firstly, in a 2022 report from the Department of Emissions, we learned carbon from ethanol, combustion and production, offsets as plants absorb CO2. The plants that create the ethanol absorb the CO2 via photosynthesis. Additionally, Zach Bader from the Iowa Farm Bureau said in his February 4th, 2025 report that the emissions from ethanol are 40 to 50% lower than gasoline. And this is equivalent to removing 30 million cars from the road. Ethanol helps reduce our carbon footprint and protecting the environment for future generations, which you all stated in your audience analysis that you think we should be held responsible for our actions. Using ethanol won't stop climate change alone, but it is a small step in the right direction. Ethanol also strengthens our communities economically. Ethanol is made from corn, and higher demand for corn brings up the prices of this valuable commodity. Higher corn prices mean farmers have more money and are more likely to vote in favor of new schools, roads, sewage systems, and infrastructure. Low corn prices mean that would make farmers less likely to support these community projects. Farmers pay a lot in taxes because they own more land and have higher earnings, and they're more likely, and so therefore they have more support for local improvement. Now, let's address some opposing reasons people haven't made the switch. A few opposing views are that older engines sometimes struggle with burning ethanol. But the Department of Emissions states that in that same 2022 report, E15 is safe for all vehicles 2001 or newer. E10 is safe for all cars. The Department of Emissions proved that E10 was safe for all cars. The food prices sometimes becoming higher with ethanol was another opposing view, but that was false because some claim that ethanol raises food prices, but distiller grains, which are a byproduct of ethanol, are used to feed cattle and end up supporting the food supply. Less land being used it takes more land to produce ethanol, which is another opposing thought. But Zach Bader said in his 2025 Iowa Farm Bureau report that more corn was grown on fewer acres in the 1900s corn is grown now on fewer acres than in the 1900s due to the higher yielding crops. To conclude, ethanol benefits your car, your environment, and your community. And the positives greatly outweigh the negatives, which is why you should make the switch. Your choice to use ethanol helps protect the environment and support local farmers and community growth. I encourage you all, or at least those who fill up their own vehicles, to make the smart choice and at least choose E10 next time you fill up the pump. as well as thanking a farmer. Back to 1, 2,